So far we've been working with parallel lines, specifically transversals and parallel lines in the previous section. And so this section we're going to ease it a little bit and focus on slopes. And the formula of a slope, if you don't remember it, I'm sure you went over it in Algebra 1, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is a formula that you should know by memory. It should be something you're comfortable with. When we do future testing, like in tests for other chapters, you'll probably be faced with these kind of questions with slope. And slope is m in the y equals mx plus b equation. So what we're dealing with is being able to tell whether lines are parallel or perpendicular according to their slope. And it's a simple rule that if they are parallel, that means their slope are exactly the same. Okay? So if you have a line, it's going up and over at the same time. Even if they start at different places, they're going up and over the same exact way, so they never intersect. And so that's what parallel means. They never intersect, which we went over, we dealt with a lot of parallel lines last section. Perpendicular is the exact opposite. Not only do they intersect, but they intersect so perfectly that they create a what? A 90-degree angle. So perpendicular slopes, how you know they're perpendicular is that if you take the two slopes, the two m's, so the slope for the first equation, the slope for the second equation, and you multiply them together, you should get a -1. That's called a negative inverse. So basically, let's say my slope here, for example, is 3, okay? My opposite one would be -1/3, because if I multiply this together, I get -1, right? 3 is -3/3, which gives me -1. So an example of perpendicular is that you just take your slope, you flip it, and you change the sign. So for example, if I had a slope of 1/2, what would be my perpendicular slope? Well, I flip it, so it equal 2 over 1, and since it's positive, I make it a negative, so it would give me -2. Alright? So perpendicular is always negative inverses of each other. Parallel equal, perpendicular negative inverse. So don't forget to write this down and go ahead and do the vocabulary. We're going to go into the examples. Alright? So the first one is going to find slope. Now, I'm going to write the equation of slope up here. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, a lot of you guys want to skip steps, which is fine, but it's easy to get lost, kind of overwhelmed almost. So what I want you to do is I want you to label and then fill in. So basically your first point is going to be your x1, y1. Okay? The little ones tell me that's from 1 point. This is going to be x2, y2. Once I label them, then I just plug it into the equation and I solve. So m equals -1, put y2, minus y1, which is 7, over -1, x2, minus x1, which is minus a -3. Okay? And then -1 minus a -7 will give me -8. -1 minus a negative is +3, right? This minus and this negative make it a +3. So what I end up with is -8 over -1 plus 3, which is 2. -8 divided by 2 is -4. Now sometimes when I divide the fraction, I'm not going to end up with the whole number, so I'll just leave it in fraction form. This one, I end up with the whole number, so my slope is -4. So that means I'm going to go down 4 and over 1. Down 4 and over 1. Okay, so the next one is we have to figure out if these two lines, FG and line HJ, if they're parallel, if they're perpendicular, or if they're neither. And in order for us to do that, we need to find the slopes. Okay, they don't have to be one or the other. They don't have to be parallel or they don't have to be perpendicular. So they could be neither, but we need to find the slopes in order to figure that out. You can graph it, but it's a lot easier just to put it into the equation. So let's do the first one. This is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. So y2, so my slope, I'm going to put m1, which is for this. Okay, fg, we're going to do m1. So y2 is -1, y1 is -3, over x2, which is -2, minus 1. Is this a negative? Yes. So it's going to be minus a -3. Okay? So -1 plus 3 over -2 minus 1, which would give me 2 over -3. So -2/3. That's my m1. So now I'm going to do the same thing, and this is going to be my m2. This is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. So here we go. m2 equals y2, which is 3, minus y1, which is 0. Okay. And then over x2, which is 6, minus x1, which is 5. And this is 3 minus 0 is 3. 6 minus 5 is 1. So 3 over 1 and -2 over 3. Let's check the work here. -1 minus 3. Okay, and then -2 minus 1. Yes. So this is -2 over 3. And this is 3 over 1. So this would be neither. It's always good to check your work because sometimes I even wonder whether I did it right or not. So it's the hard thing about this is not the actual concept of finding the slope, is that one little mistake, one little negative sign makes all your makes all of your answers incorrect. So you need to make sure to recheck it to make sure you did it right. That's why it's very important to go ahead and label. So go ahead and try this. You're going to try page 159, number 2 and 6. Page 159, number 2 and 6. One more thing. If these two answers right here were the same, they would be what? Parallel. So I'd write parallel. If instead of 3 over 1, I have positive 3 over 2, then it would be perpendicular. Okay? Our last one, it says graph the line that contains Q and is perpendicular to MN, with M equals -2, 4 and N equals 2, 1. So here's MN, 1, -2, up 4, okay, and N is +2, up 1. And I want to find something that's perpendicular, okay, to this. That means perpendicular, it hits it at a 90-degree angle, except it goes through this point right here, which is 5, up 1. Okay? I can't just go ahead and draw this line. I need 2 points. In order for a line, I need 2 points. So I need to know how much to go up or down, or how much to go left and right. In order to figure that, I need to find the slope. So first, I'm going to find the slope of MN. Okay? This is my x1, y1, x2, y2. Now, it doesn't matter which one I label x1, y. I can label this one x1, y1 and this one x2, y2, as long as I keep the 1s, the 1 point and the 2s on another point. Alright? Because ultimately, it'll work out either way. So I know that M equals, M1 equals y2, 1 minus 4, over x2 minus negative 2. So 1 minus 4 is negative 3. 2 minus negative 2 is 2 plus 2, which gives me 4. So my equation, my slope for this is negative 3 over 4 for mn. Okay? And if this said parallel, then I would just take this and I'd go down 3 and over 4. Down 3, down 3 over 4, down 3 over 4, down 3 over 4, and it would be parallel because it wouldn't intersect. But it's not asking for parallel. What it's asking for is perpendicular. And perpendicular is the inverse, the negative inverse, sorry. So that means I'm going to take my m1, which is negative 3 over 4. I'm going to flip it. So instead of 3 over 4, I'm going to have 4 over 3. And since this is a negative, I'm going to go positive, right? Because this is at a decline. So in order for me to intersect it, it has to go the opposite direction. So this means I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So after I get those 2 points, I'm going to cross it, and that gives me a 90-degree angle. Right? Any questions on that? Please make sure to ask tomorrow. Go ahead and try page 160, number 8, and I will see you in class.